So, the manosphere. I said yesterday that I was going to go ahead and do a tier list of incel terms because when I was looking them up for yesterday's video, there was actually a much larger video to be made here, mostly because I'm excited to just point and laugh at some of the dumb shit that's on my screen right now. On top of that, I don't even think I know the full extent of what I'm diving my little white toes into. It seems like a much more vast world than I initially expected. It's also good because I'm teaching you guys about this stuff, so I can go ahead and mark it as educational content in case YouTube wants to take down my video for all the cursing and really awful words I'm about to say. Going forward, I ask but one thing of you guys. Please do not cancel me for this. I am not propagating this ideology. I'm purely pointing and laughing at it because every definition I read, this stuff just gets more absurd, and all I want to do is share that with you guys. I promise I don't believe in any of these things. It's actually really funny because a lot of the jokes I'm going to make are going to be about the fact that we use a lot of these words, like meme-wise. I was making fun of kids yesterday because they were using the word Floyd, but there's so many of these words in this definition list because, of course, they have their own version of Urban Dictionary for incel terms. So many words that we use every day that I had no idea came from here. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and break down the tiers for you. On the top, we have super funny, followed by funny, then followed by concerning, then followed by sad, then followed by extra sad. If it doesn't make any sense, basically I'm going to be ranking these based on how stupid I think they are, and some of these words wrap back around to being funny, and even super funny in some cases, but most of these are just going to be sad words used by sad people. But number 1, alpha male or beta male. In the definition that I pulled this from, it uses both, so I'm going to go ahead and treat it as both words. That's pretty fair for what it is. We all know what the alpha male, beta male conversation is about. We've been using these words for a very long time, and in most cases, ironically, to make fun of the people who self-identify with these things, right? I think alpha male and beta male is the perfect example of what a funny incel word is, because genuinely, we just make fun of them for using it, and that's the best. Coming up at number 2, AWOLT, all women are like that, used to stereotype women. I think it's just a bit of a concerning mindset to have, right? Because everybody's different, and I don't need to explain the concept of everybody being different, but I think specifically to these people, they see, like, you might have one bad apple, right? There might be one evil woman, one bad experience they had with the woman in their life, whether that's their fault or the woman's, and they just automatically assume for every woman they meet that they're all going to be like that. And that's concerning. That is a damaging mindset. They're not really going to get very far thinking like that. I think it's kind of sad that we even have a term to bully people like this, especially because, like, I know the whole point is the fact that they're women, right? And they try to find every angle they can to tear women down. But also, just as a concept, this really doesn't make any sense because I feel like the society as a whole benefits when everybody is progressive and holding each other up. So it's just kind of awful. See what I did there? Incels have a weird fascination with using actual names as labels for people, one of those being Becky, and we'll see a couple of those in the future. But as of right now, Becky is the first one we have. Becky is used to describe a woman that is traditionally undesirable compared to other women. I don't really understand this concept. I think there's somebody for everybody at the end of the day. I think the whole thing with involuntary celibacy and calling yourself an incel because of that makes you a voluntary celibate. Doesn't make much sense. And I think this is another example of how the degree of separation in that they choose to label women differently over and over and over again is how they stray farther and farther and farther away from actually getting any play. Now, the best piece of advice I could possibly give to anybody who's having any kind of woman troubles, and I know, I'm probably not the best person to take advice from, okay? The best piece of advice I can give to anybody is to not follow this stupid black pill ideology. I think this is extra sad. I think this is where a lot of them actually get mentally ruined, because they start following this and then they get angry. They just get mad. They just get all mad. They think that they were born bad. They think that they were born wrong. Some people are born short. Some people are born with not symmetrical faces. Who really gives a fuck? As long as you're an interesting and nice person, People are gonna like you. There's plenty of attractive women who date ugly guys every day. This is just a very damaging mindset that I think a lot of people believe in, unfortunately. And yeah, it's just a little extra sad. Now, body count is an interesting one. I've had many of discussions with multiple different kinds of people on their opinion on body count. Where I kind of fall, though, is it's a little bit sad if this is just all you care about. If you think the amount of people a woman has slept with is just the ultimate, penultimate important thing on whether you're going to interact with that person or not, not very good. And it's also not a very good idea because at the end of the day, everybody be fucking everybody. And as long as everybody's tested and knows that they're STD free, who cares? Just get your dick wet, my guy. Okay, so bop is an interesting one, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this in super funny immediately just so I can dodge the wave of anticipation that people have of where I'm going to put this. For what the actual word is used for, it's kind of sad, but us in our meme cultures, I know especially towards the tail end of my high school career, bop was used to describe anything. I had no idea that it was an acronym. Been over past? That makes sense for where it came from, but that's not even how we were using it. This word just really did do the whole wrap back around like a really bad horror movie. Just makes you want to say it more. I think if you're actually using this, again, to shame women for being promiscuous, don't. Just be funny. It's a funny word. The large majority of these terms are just some men got wronged by some bad apples, and they just wanted to hate on every single part of that demographic. This also kind of proves that with Briffault's law. It's usually just like an extra sad mindset saying that women are going to use you, they're going to drain you of all of your money, and then they're going to leave you. Now, some of them might do that. That's not most of them, though. It's really damaging to have this kind of mindset, and it's honestly just extra sad. And let's just go ahead and do Chad. Chad is an immediate, super funny S tier. I didn't even know Chad actually came from incel terminology. When I saw that and put that on this tier list initially, I was like, oh, no way. No way. But it makes sense, right? Because you think of Chad and you think of that, like, that alpha male chiseled jawline, the super yoked out. I'll throw a video of the supermodel that everybody memes here. Chad, super funny. S tier word, very, very funny. Cope, again, pretty funny word. Had no idea that it was an incel term either. Cope is just a daily word we all use, and we use it in this context. Like, deal with it or go cry about it. All of us say cope. We do this, okay? It's a funny word. Cracked or cracking, again, also a funny word. Is actually the word that I use when I say that I'm having sex with somebody. I say that I'm cracking. Maybe that's bad. Maybe my brain is rotted. Maybe, now that I know this definition, I should probably, stop using that word. But I had no idea this came from this stupid incel shit, and I find that very funny. Cuck, the concept is extra sad. If you're letting your chick fuck other people and you're watching and sexually gratifying out of it, that's kind of bad, but all I can think about is Sneeko. That's pretty funny. Now, this one's a little weird because I was definitely a part of the 13, 14, 15-year-olds who caught the wave of Belle Delphine and thought she was incredibly attractive. Of course, I realized that in my young naivety, she was purely catering to a younger audience because she knew that would make her some bread. Pretty bad to do for porn. But as far as just regular e-girls or OnlyFans model goes, it's fine. I think it's a bit concerning that there's so much controversy around it because porn's existed longer than we have, far longer than anybody who's been watching this video has. And it's weird that we're only just now judging it, and I think it's even weirder that guys judge it more now when they're using it more than ever. And that's kind of very confusing to me. Okay, really gotta watch how I say this one. If you're a woman and you give out false allegations, understand that you are ruining whoever's life you're bringing them to, okay? That's bad. Understand you're also making it harder for victims when they come out to immediately be believed and helped. Understand that. That is bad. However, 99.9% of SA cases are not false allegations. Men are actually just that evil. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in extra sad because it's even more extra sad that I feel like incels need to find a way to justify doing something wrong and to immediately say it's a false allegation. Because if all of them automatically assume it's a false allegation, then it's an echo chamber of, no, I didn't do anything illegal. We didn't do anything illegal, guys. Of course not. Consent is so important. Hot take. Feminism? Good. Women's empowerment? Great. Feminists have an entirely integral role in today's society, and without them, women wouldn't be nearly as put up on a pedestal as they are today. And by put up on a pedestal, I mean just barely at an equal level with men, where I still think men dwarf the amount of power that women have. And that is completely unproportionate and not even fair, especially considering most women are smarter than men. All of these concepts came from men, if that's not evident. Now, they do have this thing called the feminist agenda, where they believe that all feminism is evil and it's like the route to put men down. And there is some people who do believe that, men's tears, kill all men, whatever, yada yada. Those people, in my opinion, just as bad as the incels who made all of this thing, because there's no point in hating each other. Hating each other never gets anywhere but more conflict. I feel like, maybe this is a little bit of a spicy opinion, actually, but I feel like the whole concept of a gender war doesn't even really make any sense. Again, that's coming from a white male, so big preface, right? Big preface. A lot of things that I don't know about. I am the most privileged you possibly can be, aside from the fact that I'm not 6'2", okay? However, I think it's just a little sad that they feel like they're all out to get them. When I started recording this video, I didn't realize how long this was going to take to not only record, but inevitably edit after I'm done recording. So this is just going to go ahead and be our last one for the day. Femoid, Foid, FHO, I covered this yesterday. I think it's sad. Obviously, I think the mindset is incredibly sad. But at this point, I'm having a bit of a soft spot for the word itself. Namely because now I've made 2 videos, coming up going to be a third because I don't want to finish it in this one, over the word Foid. Foid has caused this whole little mini arc I'm going on, so I feel a little bit more attached to this word than I used to. As I said in the last one, I think I'm going to go ahead and save this for a part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of situation, because I went ahead and grabbed like 50 terms for this, and that was way more than I could handle for one tier list episode. So in order to go ahead and stagger out the releases and actually have something to film tomorrow and potentially the day after, I think we're just going to release them as parts. But yeah, after part 1 of covering incel terminology, this is the current tier list. This is the current make of things. This is the landscape. Yeah, can't wait to see you in the next one tomorrow. I just want to say, while we're saying thanks for watching, that if you're a cuck and it's good for your sexual relationship and that's what works for you and your partner, great. I'm not here to kink shame. I want to be fucked in the ass by some silicone and a big honkin' Amazonian woman.